Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are live. We are live, baby. Sorry for the delay. Sometimes it's a bit tenuous with this technology, but we're making it work. We're making it work. Again, as we learn, as we grow, we meaning me. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying out some new equipment and stuff like that, and still figuring out the technology behind it so that I can make sure that I'm getting the word out in the best way possible. So I'm going to give it a minute or two to get some people in here. I know people expecting me to be on a 7 o'clock, 7:18. The internet went down like on my laptop twice. I don't know if it's because I'm using this different area of the house or what, but I'm going to have to get that figured out as we're moving forward in this thing, or it's going to make it quite difficult for me to do this show the way I want to do it. Yeah, we are live. Thank you for joining me here on Real Talk with ReZsaun. I am your host, Raisman Lewis. And like I said, I will be getting to my regular opening in 1 second. I just want to give people a chance to get in here because I am late. So I don't know if they just thought I wasn't going to be doing the show tonight or what. Okay. My shirt. HD is something else. HD is something else. What's up? Now it's working, yeah. It's all good. All right, we got one. We got one in the building. When he went away. Don't go anywhere. Oh, that's Tony. What's up, Tony? What's up, man? Thank you so much for joining me. All right. Tony's in the building. All right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm about to get started in like a minute, man. I just want to give people a chance to get in here. I know I'm late today, so if you could please share this out so people know that I am live. I just shared it on my page. Please come in, have a seat. You ready to enjoy yourself? Hey, Toya, what's up? Hey, baby. That's two. Please share it. I don't want to just be us tonight, but whatever if it is. 3. Who's the third? Who's the third? Who's the third? You can hear me? Good. Can you see me good? Can you see me okay? Oh, boy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're about to get started. Let's do it. Hello, world. Welcome to Real Talk with ReZsaun, where nothing's off limits. I am your host, ReZsaun Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk, everything's debatable. So, on any given week, we can be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Yeah. Now, let's get cracking. Once again, the music is brought to you by my homeboy Digga Jones, aka Daniel Laurie, and I really love this jam. I call it Jazz Lounge. I don't even know if he gave it a name. I think that's what he called it, Jazz Lounge. Yeah, I definitely love this track. He was on the show Wednesday, so hope y'all, if you got an opportunity to check out the show on Wednesday, you saw Digga actually on the show live, and it was good to have him on the show because he's such a great person to talk to. Leno Slim Biggins is in the building. All right, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hey, Janetta, how you doing? What's up, Tamar? All right, what's up? We got a good little crew. All right, we can get started with this. I'm glad you like the track, Tamar. If you want a copy of it, I have a copy of it on my iPad. I can send it to you or something. Welcome to Real Talk, man. I'm so glad to be with you guys this week. I'm sorry that I'm late. The technology. You know, anytime you're dealing with technology, there's always some kind of snafu that you can have. But and of course, mine was going up and down, up and down, up and down. So I was trying to get that figured out. But I'm ready to go now. So let's cook. First thing we'll get started with today is this thing with the UCLA shoplifting scandal. Now, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but there are some players. The team, the UCLA basketball team, went to China for a basketball game to promote, basketball in the United States, as well as in China, and sort of bring the sport to China, expanding the game. So one of the players that plays for the UCLA team is Liangelo Ball, and he is the little brother of Alonzo Ball and the big brother of LaMelo Ball. He's the middle Ball brother, the one no one really knows anything about until now, of course. They went to China, and him and two of his teammates actually got arrested for shoplifting in China. Now, not only did they shoplift out of one store, they shoplifted out of 3 different stores, which is not a great thing to do in a foreign country. So, of course, they got arrested. And they were put on actual house arrest for a few days until pending some kind of outcome. And who steps in to help them out except for our POTUS, the President of the United States? So we got to give Donald Trump a round of applause. I don't got no applause. Hold on. Let me. That's right. Donald Trump stepped in to help Liangelo Ball and his teammates get out of jail in China. So that's kind of crazy. What's up, Yina? How you doing? Hey, Javar. So they're out of jail, and now the what he say moment.
What he say? What he say?
The what he say moment goes to Donald Trump because of the fact that since getting Liangelo Ball and his teammates out of jail, his father, now I can't remember his dad's name. His father got him out of jail. I mean, his father knows he got out of jail, but his father is now going at Donald Trump. Now, his father's been pretty well known for being pretty outspoken about his sons and their ability on and off the basketball court. So it's become a thing where him and Donald Trump have been going back and forth recently, which has been hysterical to watch on Twitter, but also depressing all at the same time. I hope y'all are following this story. If you have not seen this story, I posted the link right there. It's really crazy because Donald Trump actually had an opportunity to swoop in and do the right thing by getting these kids out of China. Lonzo's the dad. No, Lonzo's the son. Lonzo played for the team. It's Lonzo, LaMelo, Liangelo, and I don't know the dad's name. Can't remember the dad's name right now. Let me Google it because I gotta know who it is. That's bothering me. Lonzo's dad. Somebody tell me. Lavar. That's the one. Lavar Ball. All right. Lavar Ball. Lavar Ball is the dad that's been all over ESPN and Fox News and Fox Sports and all these different shows talking about how great his son Lonzo Ball is going to be. Now, Lonzo hasn't started out to having the greatest season in NBA history, but he's got a lot of promise to him. It's still a long way to go for him. But as of right now, what's happening is that Lonzo and President Trump have been tweeting each other back and forth. Let me find that one because that's hysterical. Trump. Yeah, so it's hysterical. It's all right. So he was asked about Donald Trump's role in getting his kids out, and he was like, "Donald Trump who?" That's pretty much was his response to the situation. And now Donald Trump is tweeting out saying, now that the 3 basketball players are out of China and have been saved from Jesus, why am I reading so bad? I'm a teacher. Now that the 3 basketball players are out of China and saved from years in jail, LeVar Ball, the father of Liangelo, is unaccepting of what I did for his son, and that shoplifting is no big deal. I should have left them in jail. This is our President of the United States. That's our what he say moment of the day.
What he say?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that he did. I'm gonna post that link too. That him and Trump, our president, is in a tweet battle. Like, can y'all, like, every week I say this, But can you really believe that this is what's going on in our country right now? Is that our president of the United States is having social media battles with people who are the fathers of basketball players. Like this is amazing. Like I don't, but I do have to give President Trump credit for doing the right thing and getting those guys out of jail. Even though, I mean, if one of us went to jail, went to China and stole out of China, we'd probably be sitting in jail right now. It wouldn't matter. But the fact that they went on behalf, representing our nation, representing their team. What's up, Peanut? How you doing? Representing their team, representing our nation, and would take that opportunity to steal, not from one store, but from three stores. All right, they stole some sunglasses from the Louis Vuitton store, and they stole some stuff from some other stores. Like it doesn't make sense that they would go there and do that. But shout out to President Trump. I don't give him credit for anything, but I got to give him credit for this. I really do. I got to give him credit for getting those boys out of jail, because that could have turned into a dire situation. They were facing between 3 and 10 years in prison. So what I would tell him is to grow some thicker skin, though. People aren't going to love everything you do. They're not. All right, President Trump, stop being so thin-skinned. If people are talking, let them talk. People talked about President Obama for 9 years, 10 years now, considering the fact that you pretty much blame him for everything that's going on with your administration. But you don't see him on Twitter clapping back at people. You don't do that. You're the president of the United States. Be the president. Be presidential. All right? So, again, props to President Trump for getting those guys out and bringing them back to the United States safe without having to spend years in prison, because that's one thing we don't need is more young black men sitting in prison. So shout out to you for that. Even though it was only for players who are playing who are very well known for their basketball talents. I just want to say thank you for that. So thank you, President Trump. So nobody who watches Real Talk will say I don't thank President Trump for nothing. When you do the right thing, we'll get behind you on that. Okay? Even when you're going against crazy daddies like Lavar. All right? Transitioning out of that, we had a situation. I don't know if y'all know about that's right, Jay. They talked about Jesus. You better believe they did. Yes, they did. Moving on. We're going to stay in sports onto a deeper issue, though, which is I don't know if y'all been following this movement that they have on Twitter called Me Too. Me Too. And Me Too is pretty much it's young ladies talking about their experiences with sexual assault. And the young lady from the Olympic team, Raisman, actually was Raisman was made a post on Twitter about Me Too. And she was talking about her experience with sexual harassment and being mistreated, as a woman. And her Olympic teammate, Gabby Douglas, actually made a post. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Gabby Douglas made a post that sort of went the other way. So I'm going to read it to you guys. I just posted the link. But I want to read it to you guys. I posted it on my page. I try to start posting these on my page. So it says, sorry. So the first post said, sexual abuse ever. Women are allowed to feel sexy and comfortable in their own skin. In fact, I encourage you all to wear what you feel good in. I will not put up with any woman or girl being shamed for wanting to wear a skirt, dress, etc. I do not tolerate it. Are we clear? Oh, and one more thing, stop victim shaming. It is because of you that so many survivors live in fear. Raisman, who was on Gabby Douglas's team, retweeted that with the caption, "We are all in this together. If we're going to create change, I need your help." Well, Gabby Douglas, who was on both the Rio Olympic team as well as the team before that, 4 years before that, was also on that team, and she reposted it with the caption, "However, it is our responsibility as women to dress modestly and be classy. Dressing in a provocative, sexual way entices the wrong crowd." Ugh. So that's not really that's probably not the best answer to that situation, simply because it can come off as victim shaming. And that's something that we as a society are becoming much more coherent of and cognitive of, the fact that when you make excuses for a woman being sexually assaulted, you become a part of the problem. I have 4 daughters, and I talk about this all the time. If one of my daughters was sexually assaulted, I wouldn't care if she was wearing a hijab or if she was wearing a bikini. There's no reason for a man or anybody to sexually assault a young lady or man, because it be blamed on what they're wearing. Okay, like you may not agree with what they're wearing, you may not like what they're wearing, whatever, but you have no right to sexually assault somebody or make them feel bad or as though the sexual assault is their fault because of what they were wearing. Okay, should women dress modestly? That's for women to decide. That's not a discussion that ReZsaun Lewis is built to discuss because I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman, and I've never been sexually assaulted as a woman. So I can't walk in those shoes but I could never imagine a situation where someone would tell a man, hey, you were raped. So, this is, it's why did you wear that? And, if you wouldn't have wore this, you would have got raped. You wouldn't have got raped. You wouldn't have been molested. People molest little kids, and those kids have on nothing that would be out of the ordinary, and those kids get molested all the time. So we should not be doing that. As far as Gabby goes, she did apologize for making those statements and saying, saying that I'll read the apology because I read her comments. Her apology said, I didn't correctly word my reply, and I'm deeply sorry for coming off like I don't stand alongside my teammates. Regardless of what you wear, abuse of any circumstance is never acceptable. I am with you. #MeToo. So hopefully they got that straightened out on the Olympic team. If not, maybe Gabby just got some soul searching to do because that's not cool. Skrilla, I don't know who Skrilla is, Mom. I can't see Skrilla. Is there somebody on here named Skrilla? If there is, thank you so much for coming on. Cause I don't see you. How you doing, Rosa? All right. So yeah, so definitely that's my take on that is that sexual assault is never okay. I don't care what the person was wearing. I don't care if you thought the person looked sexy. Like, understand the stance on Real Talk with ReZsaun is that sexual assault is wrong. Even though that shouldn't be something that somebody, how you doing, Rosa? That shouldn't be something that you have to tell people. Like, you should not have to tell people that you should not sexually assault people. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. And we also there should never be a situation where we're making excuses for people who commit sexual assault. Because that's one of the most despicable crimes that there is out there. Sexual assault, and especially sexual assault against children. And a lot of the Me Too campaign, if you're not following the Me Too campaign, you need to follow that. See what's going on with that. There's people who are coming out and telling their story about sexual assault. Terry Crews actually did a Me Too as well, talking about being sexually assaulted and being I don't know if he sexually assaulted. Was he sexually assaulted? But he went into a situation that was difficult for him, even as a man, a big, strong man who played in the NFL. Terry Crews went through sexual assault, and that's it's all terrible, but it's terrible that would happen. It's terrible that would happen. Any thoughts on that? It can definitely open your eyes on ways to protect your children. Definitely, Toya. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that so much. And for those who don't know, this is Real Talk with ReZsaun. I'm your host, ReZsaun Lewis, and I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm just going through a few topics from the week in news and sports and everything like that. So, yeah, I want to make sure I do acknowledge he was being groped in public. That's what happened. Definitely. Shout out to Terry Crews for telling his story. Shout out to everybody who has been willing to step up and tell their story, because that's probably one of the most difficult things to talk about is being sexually assaulted. Mainly because from what I understand about it, you feel like you go through your mind and you try to figure out what you did wrong to deserve to be treated in that way. And for somebody to say, oh, well, I see your pain and I'm going to tell you that your pain is your fault. That's not what we should be doing with sexual assault. All right. That's just not cool. Okay. Uncle JT's Priscilla? All right. That's what's up. Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining, Miss Rosa. I don't think I've ever met you before, but thank you for joining the show. I really appreciate it. All right. Yeah, moving on. So I don't know if y'all been following this as well, but this is another story that I posted in the page, and I want to share it with you guys as well. this story about Meek Mills. All right, so rapper Meek Mills actually has been sent to prison. He's been sent to prison because of a parole violation. Now, mind you, when Meek Mills committed the crime that he was sent to prison for, he was 19 years old. All right, he was sent to prison. He was 19 years old. He got out of prison, and since then, he's had manuscripts for nothing major. And since that time, he actually was just sent to prison for 3 years. I believe it's 3 years that he's facing, and he's 30. Okay, he's 30 years old. So when he was sent to prison originally, when he originally got the probation charge, when he was convicted, he was 19 years old. Now he's 30 years old, and he was sent to jail for violating probation at 30 for a charge that he got at 19. So that means that his entire adult life, he's been put in a situation where if you make any mistake, you are going to jail. That's not right. I'm sorry. Like, that's not right. Now, do I want criminals off the street? Yes. I definitely want criminals off the street. But if a criminal gets out of jail and they do the wrong thing, then they should definitely be sent back to jail. But let me tell you what Meek Mill was sent to jail for. All right? He was sent to jail for popping a wheelie on a motorcycle. That was his violation of his probation. Popping a wheelie on a motorcycle at a video shoot. In fact, when he was charged with that and they violated his probation, the charge of popping the wheelie was actually dismissed. So he wasn't even convicted on the charge that they violated his probation for. And yet still, the judge sent him to jail anyway. The judge sent him to jail anyway. So now he's looking at he's looking between 2 to 4 years of violating his probation. That is an atrocity. That's a miscarriage of justice in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Like, trust me, ReZsaun Lewis is not anti-criminal, is not pro-criminal. Like, I am so anti-criminal, it's ridiculous. But this can't be what it's about, right? If you violate probation, okay, cool. But if you get the charge that you are charged for dismissing the probation for is dismissed, then that violation should also go away. All right, so these are the things that we need to be looking into. So when we talk about becoming more knowledgeable about the world's going on, how you doing, Lacey? Hey, Karen, what's going on? We're talking about becoming more knowledgeable about what's going on in the community around us. We need to have a better grasp on the laws and what the laws say. All right, Meek is I don't know if he's a millionaire. He has lots of money. So I'd imagine that he got a lawyer that's pretty decent. So I don't know how the fact that they're able to carry out this miscarriage of justice. Oh, no problem, Karen. And just get away with it and it not be a problem. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. And if you have not had an opportunity to read this article that was written by Jay-Z, Jay-Z actually wrote this article for the New York Times. So check that out. I posted the link on the side, and you guys check that out, man, because it's really sad what's happening. And what's even sadder is the only reason we know about this is because of the fact that Meek Mill is a famous person. If he wasn't famous, this would just be another dude. Now imagine this. Imagine how many other people in this world, are violated of their probation and face situations for situations such as this and have no recourse. Just sitting in jail for petty stuff. Like, that can't be it. That's why things like for-profit prisons have to stop. And that's something I want to say. For-profit prisons where these people build these prisons with the sole purpose of making money. And now, if you have this prison that is designed to make money, now you have a motivation to send people to jail for petty reasons. That's a problem, especially because the people that are primarily faced and affected by this situation are African Americans and minorities. They're targeted. If you look at it, and this is again Probably going into one of those places. That's a area, but I'm willing to go there because I'm standing behind what I say. If you look at the way the justice is adjudicated, it's primarily in predominantly minority dominant areas. If you want to find the most police, you'll find the most police in the hood, right? For several reasons, right? Is it because there's a lot? How you doing, Maya? How you doing, Clarence? Is it because there's a lot of crime going in the hood? Maybe, but it's also because a lot of crime is driven to the hood. All right, it's driven to the hood. All right, and when you put the higher concentration of police officers in one area, well, you're going to find more criminals in the area where you have the police officers. There's also crimes that go on in the suburbs all the time, but we don't have that concentration of police. Okay, you have to consider these things. You have to completely consider these things, and it's not fair. It's not fair. And again, no shade to the people who are charged with protecting and serving. Because I thank you very much for those who are out there who do the job who go out there every day, put their lives on the line to protect people like me, people like my mother, people like my grandmother, my brothers, my sisters, everybody. Thank you so much for going out there and doing that. But there are some people out there who do not have that same motivation. They don't build for-profit prisons because there's a completely fair system out there that is putting people in jail for righteous and verifiable reasons. There are people that are sitting in prisons that did not commit crimes. And there is no movement that is going to be able to get those people out because of the fact that the law says that if the police arrest somebody and they have enough evidence on that person, then that person is going to jail. All right. Some of these people don't have judges. Some of these people can't afford good lawyers. They're suffering with the DA. Not the DA. The public defender. Not the DA. The public defender. They can't afford a lawyer, so they get a public defender who has like 27 cases on their load, probably fresh out of law school, and they go to jail. But if they would have had decent criminal defense, they probably would have been able to defend themselves and be able to walk on something that they didn't do. But it is what it is. It is. Let me read some comments. Yeah, Jay, the judge was shady and is being investigated. That's true. Lacey, officers fish where the fishing is good, aka the hood. I agree. Also, white collar crime found mostly in economically advantaged areas is harder to identify and not out on the street. Okay, I think that's a good point, Lacey. I think that's a great point. But I also want to ask you this: what do you think would happen if we dedicated as much resources to fishing out white collar crime as we do drug dealing? I'm pretty sure we'd catch as much. I'm pretty sure if we put a police officer or a police officer team on every single corporate office in the country, and we fished out that white collar crime, we'd find it. I also bet this. So let's look at this. Let's do a little history. So back in the 80s, the crack epidemic hit America hard. All right, destroyed homes, in many different ways. And so then Ronald Reagan, our president at the time, called out the war on drugs. Do you know what the war on drugs depicted? The war on drugs caused people's homes to get their doors get kicked in. People who weren't doing drugs or selling drugs, but that was their approach. We're gonna kick in doors and we're gonna arrest drug dealers and we're gonna do all these things, right? In the hood, right? So now, here we are, 2017, about 30 years later, and we have another epidemic, the opioid epidemic. The opioid epidemic. How many doors you heard of kicked in because of opioids? How many mass arrests have we heard of because of opioids? I haven't heard of any. I also know that the opioid epidemic does not primarily affect African American people. It's also not sold mostly by African American people. I'll let you connect the dots as you want to. Like, I'm just saying, if the if the way to root one out is to kick in doors and to rip up homes, then isn't that the response that we should have for this one too? Or is it not the same thing? Is it not the same thing? Both drug epidemics, both causing massive, massive family problems, problems in our country, causing deaths, but it's not, because the goal of in the opioid epidemic, the crack users were criminals, right? If you use crack, if you're holding crack, you're a criminal. Opioids, they're not criminals. They're sick. They need help. They have mental issues and disorders that lead to this. The opioid epidemic also does affect big pharma. Thank you, Amanda. Absolutely. 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 So when we're talking about these things, we're talking about, no, it's not out on the street. I'm pretty sure they're not out selling, but I do know that, like Percocet, Molly Percocet, that's a song. There's just not as many people that, I know of that are abusing opioids, but opioid epidemic affects what they call the heartland of America. All right. And pharma runs our country in so many ways. Like, there's a lot of money that goes into making sure that big pharma can do certain things and get away with certain things. But I promise you, if big pharma was run by people who look more like me, there'd be a whole lot more doors kicked in. You'd see a lot more doors kicked in. I promise you that. There'd be a whole lot more arrests as it pertains to, because let's think about it. What if we dedicated as much police power and resources to arresting people who sell opioids? Do you think we could catch them? We probably could. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm nobody. Yeah. So that's that. I'm waiting for you guys' comments. I have a line now. I didn't tell you guys. So I actually have a phone number now for Real Talk with ReZsaun, where I'll be able to take calls and stuff. I don't know if you guys will be interested in doing that tonight, but next week I'm probably going to open the lines up where we can take some calls. I have a dedicated Google number now where you guys will be able to call me and give some comments. We can have some discussions on those things. So I look forward to that next week, unless there's somebody who wants to try it out today. But I don't know if anybody is. So we can keep it rolling from there if you're interested. Going once, going twice, sold. All right, cool. So I'm gonna ask my wife, Latoya. Toya, I want my wife to come upstairs because I'm about to go into my relationship segment. Now, I've been thinking about this whole relationship segment thing that I do, and that's cool. It's cool. That I put the number out. I could. I think it's cool that I'm able to do this show, and talk about things that I care about and stuff like that. But I don't like feeling, as though like it feels to me like it's just a whole lot of me talking, and I want to involve other voices and other thoughts into this process. So that's why I'm trying to put the number out there. That's why I'm doing these things, to be able to bring on more guests. I'm actually looking at opportunities for using Skype as well. So I'll be using Skype to do some interviews. How you doing, Felita? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be doing Skype interviews and things like that as well. So be on the lookout for that, man. Let me pull up. I'll put the number out there for you guys who are interested. Muy interesante. Real talk. He's there. How you guys doing? How you enjoying the show? Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Lacey, for the comment. And thank you so much. Lacey, I love Lacey. Lacey's dope. I'm going to tell you why Lacey's dope. Because Lacey's one of the people who does not agree with all my takes, but she will tell me the things that she disagrees with in such a respectful way that, that we always find middle ground. She's mad dope. She's mad dope. Lacey, I'm disappointed with the lack of repercussions against meth and opioid dealers. I feel that I see them as repeat offenders that are getting less repercussions than, say, weed or coke dealers. Absolutely. And that's something that I think that is the trouble. You know, if it was adjudicated equally, I'd have absolutely no problem with the way things are done as that goes. You know what I mean? Like, I really wouldn't have a problem with, like, law enforcement is a good thing. Like, you want criminals off the street. Like, that just makes sense. Like, you want criminals off the streets. You don't want criminals walking the streets. Like, that's not something that anybody, like, that's anarchy. You know, if somebody commits a crime, they should go to jail. Like, that's something that should happen. But if the only criminals that we're putting in jail are the people who live in one area and look the same way, then that's not fair adjudication, right? That's not fair adjudication. And that number, for those who are interested, the number that I have is 843-900-6847. That's 843-900-6847. Come back. I know I didn't tell you I was doing this.
Gosh.
All right.
Hi guys.
Hold on, I don't bring you on yet, girl. Just let me introduce you and stuff. Let me introduce you before I like unveil you to the world like a flower.
I can't.
All right. Let me get this thing straight. All right. So yeah. So if you know me, you know who this person is to my left.
All right.
My left. This is my wife, my rock, my everything, and she is here today to join me for the relationship segment of this show. So, for those who don't know, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh my gosh. Hi guys. I'm sure everybody knows who I am now. My name is Latoya Lewis. I am the wife of this amazing guy here. He didn't tell me today I was coming on, so I was actually downstairs with the kids. So I'm up here now.
Tell me who you are, what you do. Go ahead now, plug.
Okay, plug. Obviously, I'm his wife first. I'm a mother as well to our 5 beautiful children. I'm also professionally an interior designer and a lifestyle blogger. So that's what I do in my spare time when I'm not running behind
Where can they find you?
all of them. They can find me on my website, which is www.lifeoflaw.net. On Instagram, Twitter, all of my social media, I'm LA Inspires, or you can just go to my personal page, which is Latoya Lewis, and then just go to my website under that little link, and it'll take you everywhere else.
All right.
Pretty simple and easy.
Okay, so I'm going to try to bring my wife in on the relationship topics going forward.
Okay.
I haven't told her that I wanted to do that, but I think it'd be good to have a husband and wife team talking about relationship topics as opposed to just me talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because though I think I'm smart, I'm not nearly as smart as her or many other people as pertains to life. So I want to make sure that I do put that out there, that we are going to be doing it this way, if that's okay with you.
One second. That's fine with me. I'm going to turn the fan. Yeah, I'm hot. Sorry, guys. It's hot in here.
See,
I don't care. Sorry, guys. You heard it first. I'm right. So
yeah, all right,
yeah,
cool.
let's turn this fan on.
This week, I posted a link to a story, an article. Not I like articles, man. I posted a link to an article about love, about love, and what it was talking about is, oh gosh, I gotta pull it up. It was talking about we fall in love with 3 people in our lifetime. 3 people in our lifetime, and it goes through the 3. Okay. So as always, I'm gonna go through. Hopefully, can y'all still hear me okay?
Let's get some thumbs up and some hearts if you can hear. Yeah. And the sound is okay, because I turned the fan on, so we just want to make sure you guys can hear us.
So this article talks about you fall in love with 3 people in your lifetime. Okay,
yeah, they can hear us. Cool. Okay, good.
And you fall in love with 3 people in your lifetime for specific reasons. All right, so we're gonna go through these, and as we go through these, I want you guys to give your comments, and me and Toya sort of do our back and forth thing, but we definitely want you guys' comments, you guys' ideas on the subject matter at hand. Okay, so the first one. All right, so we'll scroll down. It's posted the link, like I said. The first love. Okay, so it says the first love happens when we're young, sometimes as young as when we're in high school. This love fulfills the dreams of our youth and fulfills our idealistic belief that of what we expect love to look like, just like the fairy tale. All right? This love fulfills our need to live up to society's expectations. We jump into this love headfirst, believing that this person will be our only love, even if it doesn't feel quite right. And convince ourselves that this is how love should look. This love focuses on more on how people perceive us versus how we actually feel. What are your thoughts about that?
I actually agree with some of it, and some of it I don't agree with. So the part where it talks about we jump into this love head first, believing that this person will be the only love or our only love. I experienced that as well in my first love, but not necessarily like it fulfills society's expectations. I don't think as a teenager I really was thinking about anything about society. I really was just concerned with myself. I think as a teenager you're really self-centered and just thinking about who you are and what you want, not necessarily about what society thinks about that person.
Yeah, I mean, when like I think what they're referring to, like that first love, that puppy love kind of thing.
Right.
You're in school and you see somebody, you like their jeans or something like that. You think they're pretty, you think they're handsome, and they're the star of the football team or whatever it is. And again, it's not really a society thing, because when you're in high school, you're not thinking like that big.
Right.
You just think like this is what
right
it's
now
supposed to be. Like I'm supposed to be with them, they're supposed to be with me. And you sort of build your life on that thing. That's an interesting phase to be in, because that's normally the one where you realize that I don't even know what I want out of life yet.
Right. I don't think you even think about that.
Yeah.
I know I didn't. I definitely didn't think about what I wanted out of life at all. I was just thinking about the right now situation, which was at the time. And normally I'm sure you guys experience the same thing, would be whoever you were with. That's really all you're thinking about at the time. You're not thinking past that moment. You're not thinking about the future as you would as an older adult necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, y'all. Sorry. A whole lot of people just joined in. What's up, Ian? How you doing? Hey, Mama Jackie, what's going on? Hey, Pat, how you doing? Hey, Grandma. And Jamar's still in the building. Yay. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, Jay, what's going on? So we're talking about we fall in love with 3 people in our lifetime. So we just went through first love, was pretty much the puppy love.
Right.
That first love that may or may not work out. And most times doesn't. I know. Yeah. I don't even really call that. I wouldn't say. I think that's when it's the idea of love.
Right. What you imagine love
like
to be.
R&B song love.
Yeah, kind of like the way they explained it. I guess they did a good job of explaining that it was, what you imagine love to be, or the fairy tale love, which is what it normally it is. Yeah. Definitely,
like I said, she's right. She's very smart. She's so smart. You don't know who my wife is, like she's mad smart. Anyway, the second love, okay? The next love is the hard love. This is the love that teaches us lessons about ourselves and what we need to feel love in any relationship. This love brings with it great pain, the pain of loss, deceit, and lies. During this love, we believe we are doing things differently, but we are not. We tend to hold steadfast to this love because this relationship is different from the last one. However, this one is the one where we will grow. This is the one where we will experience pain. And this is the love where we will realize that what we really need out of our next relationship. That issue with this love is it can tend to become cyclical, repeating the same issues over and over, expecting a different result. Unfortunately, each time through the cycle, the ending is worse.
Ooh.
What do you say with that?
Oh man, why is this only about me? Okay. Let's see. I haven't heard you answer the last question, but hey. Oh, okay, guys. Comment if you think he answered it, because I don't.
I answered it.
You did?
I said I agree with what they said. I believe it's puppy love.
Okay.
And I believe that that's not actual love. That's just your idea of what love is.
Okay.
It's that, I heard a Boyz II Men song, and in the Boyz II Men song it said you're supposed to feel this way, so I feel this way. All right, now we're talking about that second love, which is definitely what I can definitely attest to that as well.
Yeah.
Is where I'll go first. That's the one where you really do learn.
You do.
Like that's the one where it's like, okay, well, now I'm more. Usually you're older by that point. You've
been through some things.
And it's like, okay, cool. But in that, you also make a lot of mistakes trying to find the right way to do it. And in that, you break a whole lot of you break eggs. You know how I say all the time, break eggs to make omelets.
Yeah.
So in that situation, you do find yourself learning how you want to be treated.
For sure.
Right? Because during this type of love, the hard love, this is where you learn, like, I don't want to be treated this way. I don't want to be spoken to this way. I don't want to be called these things. And I don't want to say these things to people. I don't want to have to feel like I need to say this thing to somebody to express myself. I shouldn't have to, you really find out what you want. And so I definitely agree with that.
I agree as well. I definitely agree. I can say, for me as an example, with that love, like you said, you kind of figure out what you want out of it by figuring out what it is you don't want in that situation. So definitely you learn some things, you've been through some things with this love, and you definitely are able to kind of figure out, okay, this is what I don't want, so that I'm able to kind of, filter out and figure out what it is that I do want in the next situation, or what I'm going to deal with and what I'm not going to deal with in this relationship, or whatever the relationship was.
What's the third one?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't make it to the third level.
They did the third one. I saw it. I read it earlier.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh no.
I guess they didn't make it. They didn't make it to the
No, because it was the third one was there. This is the second one. That's the first one. You see, it says three ways, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about
That is funny.
Mama said yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, definitely that second love is the one where you really figure it out. You figure out, but it's trial by fire.
Yeah.
It's trial by fire, and like I said, it does become a cycle, because it's like it's trial and error over and over and over again. It's like, but at the end, usually, I know that was the case for me with this one is that we did it over and over and over again until it wasn't worth doing anymore. And it was like, you know what? I still have love for you. I still care about you, and I always care about you, but we can't be together. And that's, Yeah,
it's part of growth, just like it said. I mean, it's just a part of growing and figuring out, who you are as a person. And, that's the first step in being able to have a good relationship, really figuring out who you are and figuring out what it is that you want and what type of relationship you want and what type of person you want to be with. And that will allow you to be able to move forward, in the best relationship possible.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think when you're younger, you don't think about those things. You definitely don't think about really what it is you want out of a relationship or what type of relationship you want. You don't think about any of those things.
Yeah. And now, of course, I can't pull up the rest of the article because thing is acting stupid. But the third love I remember being like the real love. The real love. And it's the real love because you've already been through the things that you needed to go through in order to understand the things that you're willing to accept, and the things that you're willing to go through in a relationship. And you're probably treating that other person better because you probably picked them better. Now, this comes down to an issue where I think we run into the problem, is that we keep picking the people from that second type of love.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, making the same mistake over and over again.
We keep picking the person, that second type of love person, expecting it to be the third kind of love. And it's really not, because it's not intended to be. That's not what it's supposed to be there. So it's really that's a really unfortunate situation when you continue to do that, and you won't be able to get to that third love, where it is less difficult. It's less tiresome, less bearing on your spirit. Do you have anything you want to share about anything we've said as far as this goes? While I'm pulling this up and stuff.
No. I guess I can ask you guys while we're trying to pull it up if there are any questions that you guys have or anything you want to comment, like maybe your experiences in either one of those levels, or do you believe that you only fall in love with 3 people in your life, or
there's not 3 people. There's 3 types of love that you have.
Oh, well, maybe they should have worded that.
It's possible to have that second. Again, that's what we were talking about. Is having that second type of love over and over and over again, and never getting to that third one because you never learned the lesson. And that's the thing, a loss. Every time you lose, it's not necessarily a loss. Fantasia said sometimes you gotta lose to win. But if you learn from that loss, then it's not a loss; it's a win, because it just is. Sorry. Yeah. I can't find the rest of the article.
Oh my gosh.
But so the third love is that which you really aspire to from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's, you've been through things in life, and I think that's where we are. Our marriage isn't perfect, but we've been through enough things.
Oh yeah.
Collectively, where one, we can be honest with each other, and when bad things do happen, we deal with them in a way that is beneficial to both of us. So we can find a common ground and work towards understanding. And that's really what that third love should be. Mm-hmm. You should have gone through enough things where you're sick of like drama. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The drama. Like I just let's see. We got some comments. All right. I guess the final love. Yeah. The final love. Yeah. Javon, I mean, I try to censor my comments out of respect. I can't.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Lacey said, I met my husband at 16, so this is all new to me. Married for almost 13 years.
Woo!
Thank God for that. Hey.
That's great.
If you get it right the first time, go for it, man. Like,
that's a blessing.
Dope. Like that is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Mom, always something. Yep, there's always something. Yeah, I know, right? Always something. Valerie. How you doing, Valerie? Valerie was my professor at College Charleston.
Oh wow! Yeah, so that's when we met.
That's when we met.
Okay. Hi. Yeah.
Keena joined. Thank you for joining us, Keena. Krisha. Aw, it's all right. You watch from again. You know I love you. Feedback, but keep going. Hey, Karina. Hey, Keena. Hey, Jose. Hey, India. India's on time.
Hey, Pumpkin.
Pumpkin's on. What's up, Pumpkin? Yeah. But yeah, so that's really, you know, as far as that goes, again, 3 types of love. That first love, where it's like puppy love. You know, you everything is the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Right, that person.
Everything is everything. And, you know, they can do no wrong. You know, they don't smell bad when they go to the bathroom. That whole thing. Then the second one is that hard love. You know, it's the love where you learn the most. Yeah. And then the third love is sustainable love. Yeah. You know, it's probably also what they would call boring love. You know, a lot of times. I mean, but I'll take boring.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Give it to me.
I mean, I don't think it's boring. I think it's just, for some people, they may think that the first love is, you know, not boring because there's so many things going on like that. But I think that, you know, something that's committed and sustainable, like you said, and, you know, filled with communication and things like that is not necessarily boring. I just think also, too, that's just a sign of maturity as well for people.
Mama said, y'all got it right the first time. All right.
You know what she's talking about.
No.
You don't?
I don't. Well, I guess we'll talk about it offline, I guess. All right?
Oh, my God.
So thank you so much. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to end this at 8:09. Mm-hmm. I want to go ahead and wrap real quick. Excuse me. If you no. Oh, you can stay on.
Am I staying?
You can stay on. You can stay on for the close. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. Yeah. So yes, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the support. Thank you to everybody who watched today. I say it every week because it's so important that you understand. I know that you can be doing anything else on a Sunday night, but you chose to watch my show, and I thank you so much. God bless y'all, man. Y'all are dope human beings. I am such fans of you. And if you have something that you're doing, you got a podcast, you have a community event, you have something that you need support on, please inbox me, let me know so I can support you. All right? I want to support you guys because you guys are phenomenal. You guys are phenomenal. Let me pull my script back up because I can't remember how I end the show for some reason. Like I haven't done this before. Yeah. So, be sure to tune in next week. I see her. Be sure to tune in next week where Toya will be back for the relationship segment, and maybe she'll have some tips or something that she'll want to share with you guys. We'll try to include her more in the show. And we'll be talking about, you know, everything that happens throughout the week, rather than be in sports, music, politics. If you have something that you would like me to discuss, send it to me. Inbox to me. I have people send me stuff all the time, and I try to use those things, and sometimes I don't get to them. So I'm going to try to do a better job of making sure that I get to the things that people send me to do. All right? But whatever we talk about, be sure to tune in because you don't want to miss it. Don't be the one left out because you didn't tune in. And in closing, always remember that if a man doesn't stand for something, he'll fall for anything. So that's real talk. See you next week. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I see comments.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Have a good the week, guys. We'll see you back here.
Peace out.
Sunday.
Wednesday. I'll see y'all Wednesday night. I'll do something on Wednesday. Or Sunday. For sure. Digga Jones on the track. I love this track. I'm out.